Have you always wore your hair natural?
No, it was relaxed for a while. I got caught in that being in the workforce, thinking that I needed to have relaxed hair to have a certain look. But I was on radio. That's was really foolish. People couldn't even see my hair, but it was
But
still
you,
the thought of corporate, just being in corporate.
well,
Yeah,
hold on now. Was it radio with folk in positions of power that you had to walk in and see every day?
kind of. Yeah, it was a
Okay.
public radio for the state of Mississippi. So, yeah, I felt like I
Yeah.
had to appear a certain way.
So I mean, Roderick, being a man, there are also hair edicts that are
Mm,
unspoken. You shouldn't
mm-hmm,
have your hair in locks. Definitely not braids.
mm-hmm. Yep.
People would prefer a Caesar, not an afro. No
Mm-hmm.
twists. And it's unspoken. So where did we learn that we had to show up? Because I too had permitted the hairs for the first a lot of years. The first maybe
Mhm.
10 years of my career in corporate. Well, I don't know if the Daily News is considered corporate. Maybe it is, but yes. Where do we learn this?
I mean, I know for me, my dad passed it down when I was a kid. It was a lot of like, you can't get a job with that hair, that kind of thing. Not necessarily, and it's from survival. I think respectability gets a bad rap now because obviously we've lived enough to know that it ain't gonna work. So now we're like,
Mhm.
hey, but there was a time when respectability was either seen as like survival, not even like this is how you gonna make it, but like, hey, on that side of town, you need to look a certain way. And I think parents hand that down, and it's the kids' jobs to kind of break that cycle so that the next kids don't get it. I'll just also add one time in my HBCU, Fayetteville State, Bronco Pride. We had, the alumni come in and they talk to the kids, and we're in our dorm in the lobby, and this guy comes and he says, like right out the gate, like first thing was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you want to get the job like I got with the suit that I got, working at the place I got, driving the car I got, you're gonna have to cut off that hair. And like one dude got up and just walked out. like he had dreads down his back. He just got up and walked out. He's like, all right, I'm just letting y'all know how I did it. I'm not saying this out of hate. I'm saying it out of love. So I think that's where it comes from within the
Mm.
culture.
Mm. Rita, when did you learn? When did you learn that there was a way to
Ooh,
wear your hair?
I agree with Rod. I think it was always just that expectation, something just passed down that long hair is considered the standard of beauty. And if you wear it the way that it comes out of your hair, then it's nappy and it's not appropriate to be sitting around at a conference table. But then one day I just decided to rock my natural. And when I tell you, it changed everything for me in the best ways possible. Like it is my signature hairstyle now. Folks know me by the hair. I see a lot of people rocking the same exact hairstyle. It's like I empowered people to wear their hair how they want it, and it's like a fetish now.
All
So I'm
right.
like,
Ooh,
damn, I
not
should have been
not a
did it.
fetish. All right. So walk us through that moment. Walk us through. So you got up and you were like, you know what? I'm not going to go and get this relaxer to smell the burning. I'm just not going to do it. Or did you do the big chop?
Both. I was tired of getting the perm sores. And I felt like my hair wasn't healthy when it was relaxed. It was breaking off. I kept getting it colored. I would get it done and it would be fire that night. And then the next morning it would look nothing like I had. And so I felt like I was wasting money. But I was in a relationship with a man at the time who wanted me to have my hair relaxed. And I'm like, but
Mm,
bruh, I don't want to wear it relaxed. He was like, I'll pay for you to get it relaxed because he felt like I looked boyish with it
mm,
natural. And I was like, yo, it's gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? Just be patient. I understand it's a lot to ask because I didn't meet him with natural hair, so he just got used to the long hair. So it was me rebelling. I rebelled against him and I rebelled against them perm sores. And I
Come
did the
on.
big chop. I did the big chop, and my hair is healthier than it has ever been. Like it used to itch, used to have nervous spots and sore spots. None of that. Healthy as hell now. So it was the
Well,
right decision.
and we didn't even know the cancer causing agents in the lye. Like literally, we're
Mhm.
putting lye. I mean, we didn't know. It's so sick if you think about
mm,
the ways in which we just inherently have foisted this upon the next generation.
Mhm.
I was in my early 30s, and I went to the barbershop and got it. But then I didn't feel comfortable because there was in publishing, there's a woman named Tracy Sherrod who is a dynamic editor. She was working at the time. I think she was at Simon & Schuster. I was sitting across the desk from her, and her hair looked like the rich soil, that soil that just is just, and it was just so beautiful. And I was like, how do you get your hair like that? And she gave me her products. Now we got 1,000 products, but this was in the 90s, late 90s. All of the products. And so I was like, okay, little did I know, everybody, let me just let you know, everybody's hair is different. Even the black hair. And because it's been straightened to perm my whole life, I didn't know what kind of hair I had. My hair was not holding up the way she had much thicker. She had that strong hair. And my hair
that's me.
Yeah, my hair had been, beaten into submission. So I put the products on, it didn't look the same. So that's when I started rapping, doing the head wraps, because I was not going to be outside. And then there's that period between really, really looking nice and then Frederick Douglass before it grows. That period, Frederick Douglass period. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to wait. But then when it finally did grow out and I blow dried it, I was like, oh, and it was longer than it's ever been and healthier, to your point. But more than that, it's a psychological thing. So there's a clip, Quinta Brunson, who, I admire her so much, not just because she's a brilliant writer, because I was watching Abbott Elementary last night. The writing on that show, Ava James need to win this year, y'all. That's all I'm gonna just say. Put it out there. Jesus. But she, she's not stereotypically anything. She is her own thing, her own person. And she shows up with so much confidence. And I love that because she's not very tall. You know what I'm saying? She's, she's got that round head and she's got all of that hair. And I know on the show she's wearing wigs and stuff, but she did a little, like a mini TED talk. I'm going to play a clip from that. Play it, Smith.
Around the age of 18 is when I realized I didn't really like myself anymore. Why? Not because of my parents, because of consumerism, commercialism, and advertising. The moment I really knew was when I looked in the mirror and saw a few things that really disturbed me. My hair wasn't mine. I had already started using like weaves, right? I started putting makeup on. I didn't even look like myself anymore. And I have fake eyelashes, 18 years old. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So I went through a hard process of relearning myself, liking myself the way I came out, which was difficult here. In this country, it's hard if you're not white to do that, okay? It's hard if you're not tall to do that. It's hard if you don't have big boobs. It's hard if you have not been engineered by a man of America. So I had to really examine myself and say, if I want to be a creator who shares content with people all over the world, I really have to hone in and make sure I like myself. I have to like the person I am. I wanted to create from an honest perspective. I wanted to create in a way that can make others feel good. So I had to feel good myself.
Bingo. That is the key. And I want to say, by us showing up not fully ourselves, we don't train others how to engage and interact with people. We have conditioned other people to accept a different version of us, thinking that that's who we are. And that's our fault. That's our fault. So you showing up. So when you showed up the next day, Rita Brent's here. Roderick Morrow's here as well. The black guy who tips.com. When you showed up to the radio station, what was the reaction the next day?
It was all love. It was love and intrigue because it's like, oh, now we get to see the real you, not some fraction or, some facade of who you are. And then it was like exciting to see the growth process, that happens when you have natural hair. And yeah, the hair is popping now. And it was the talk of the office, not when I was perm because I just looked like everybody else. But then I stood out with the natural hair. So I love it.
Well, my wife did the big chop. She went to work, and for a while, anybody around, their number one question was, "What did I think about it?" Which was like such a like.
Wait, what?
Not what do you think about it? Not what made you do it. Like I was gonna get up and leave. You know, like, oh, well, that's it for the marriage. I can't believe you did that. I mean, I know there's got to be men like that, but. I always just kind of thought that was kind of ridiculous or whatever. But yeah, that was the number one thing they used to ask her. She would come home and be like, "You ain't gonna believe what they said." I'm like,
was it a discussion though, Roderick? Was it a discussion? And how did you feel? Because I know y'all like to touch the scalp. Y'all like to be all up in the scalp, and touching the scalp is a nice thing. Well, I just want to say that scalp.
It was a discussion in that she had for years just struggled with perms and stuff, and it would cause breakage. Her hair would get certain like long and it get split ends, and it just could never get as long as she wanted it to be. And she would be frustrated about her hair, and we talked about it. And I remember telling her like, I hope you're not holding on to your hair for me, because that's like that has nothing to do with us. I love you no matter what your hair is gonna look like. So, you know, if like it's some sort of like anything dealing with me, fuck that. Go do your thing. And I want to say like maybe I don't know a couple weeks later, because my mom is a beautician. She does my wife's hair. She's done it for years, and so she just came back home like I don't know whatever the next time she got her hair done. It was, you know, all that you know, the level one, the ball bay, you know, that first one that they get. And
TWA.
yeah, I thought it looked great, you know, and I know there's a lot of internal stuff you have to work through with femininity, and you know, as you said, people saying, oh, you look like a boy or whatever. And I didn't want to be part of none of that negativity, is, you know, so I'm like, look, you look good. If you never grow your hair beyond this, you look great, so don't even worry about that. But her hair is so long and so healthy. It's really crazy considering how many years she had it permed and couldn't get it past like shoulder length. And now it's like almost down her back, and it's just so like big and healthy. And she did all the research into the products, and because now, you know, the natural hair game, it's a lot more research and people out there that have made it accessible when it might not have been when we was coming up. And then the last thing I want to add too is that I love it for the dudes too. I look at these NBA games, I'll be like, oh my, like, look at this. Y'all are just free. You know what I mean? Like, I love it.
Okay, wait a minute though. Can we just, I'm going to say this. Y'all can 866-801-8255. Yes, to all of the braids, but the homeless hair though, I just feel like that's just pure laziness. I'm gonna put that right there up there with Kevin Durant not oiling his ankles and stuff and brushing his hair. That's just laziness. The layers. That's not a style. It's not Rastafarian. It's none of that. It's just I'm just going in the layers, and it's just I'm going to call foul on that. I feel like if I had to play against somebody with homeless hair, I would feel some ways. I'm like, go ahead. I don't know what's
particular? Is there any particular player you thinking about, or is it just
she said like, Kevin Durant?
No, Kevin Durant does not. Kevin Durant, yeah, he
got something else happening. Yeah. He got something else happening.
I just think not having a line, period. Like if I see you and you playing and you never have a line and you're a millionaire, I don't understand it. I don't understand. And I'm like, we don't have time.
Edge that up, make it look like you care, let you make it millions of dollars. Is that what you're saying?
I do think there's a difference between like natural hair and I don't care. You know what I mean? Like it is because there's a lot of care and work that go into that. That's the other thing too. Watching my wife do it, it became apparent like, oh, this is work. Like this, like you still got to maintain it. You still, because you don't want to just like let the elements get to it and stuff. And like you said, you got a protective hairstyle. You got to like, it's a lot of stuff going on over there. So yeah, I do understand you want to see some level of like attempt at grooming or something. Yeah.
I think it's grooming. It's
Allen Iverson's mother was braiding his hair one time when he was on the bench. That's how committed AI was.
Wow.
He used to have intricate braids too.
AI had some girls out there like let me see the designs. Right.
What's the product? Where you where you get your hair? Who braiding you?
Yo, twisting you? It's crazy. All right, we are here. We're gonna take calls, of course. 866-801-8255. Rita Brent is here.